Hello and welcome to Lisa Loves. Are you ready for this? This is my first use of this. Get a load of this. Jesus wept. I'm blind. I'm blind. Right, is that about right? Is that too low? Where are we going? Oh! We go there? Shall we go there? Is that too bright? Is that too low? I'm trying out my new birthday present, my circle, my ring light. Have I got them round circles on my eyeballs that other people get when they use them? I always say, oh look, they've got a ring light on, they've got round circles in their eyeballs. So, what am I here to do today? I am here... Can't put that. Right, I'll do this first. I've got a tag to do, and it's a tag competition. I will do that after this. I cannot put me faffing about with my ring light as the opening to a tag for Leo's Geek Legion of Doom's 10,000 subscribers contest, which I shall be doing after this. So I don't think he'd appreciate my waffle. So let's get on to what I have been watching this past week as she frantically looks for the recorder to record her screen. And there we have it. Right, so what have I been watching the past week? I'm going to try not to keep this one too long because I haven't watched that much and I don't want to waffle you to death. With Vlogmas going on and you having to listen to me every day, I'm sure it's a task. So, what have I been watching this last week? I will kick off with number 3 here. You can see it's Gremlins. We don't need to go into any detail for that. I watched this because we covered it this month. We covered it this month on 3 from the Grave for our festive special. Everyone regrets, I apologise, that Gremlins was a Christmas movie. If you haven't seen our edition, I will link below in the description if I remember. If I don't, just go click on my profile. They're all on there. Give them a watch, give them a like, give them a comment, guys. I'm lagging behind. Movie Massacre is kicking mine and Strange Monkey's ass with likes and comments. Give us a comment. Let us catch up down there. Number 4. On the 4th, I watched Cannibals and Carpet Fitters. This was for Geek Legion of Doom, so obviously because I was allowed to watch that by Leo, I'm not going to sit and give a review on my channel because that would not be fair. I did enjoy this. I thought it was very good. Really good mixed blend of horror comedy. Go and check out my review on his channel. I will link it for you below, but yeah, it's a thumbs up from me. On the 5th, this is another one I reviewed for Geek Legion of Doom called Charismata. This one I was in two minds about. I did like aspects, there were aspects I wasn't that keen on. I think because with the actual storyline that it had, I would have liked to have seen more along the line of 7 and less along the lines of the Bill. That's all I'll say. Check Geek Legion of Doom for my full review on that one if you're interested. I will link it below for you. Next we had Terrified, Atarados. This is a... I'm not going to say Spanish because it isn't. Oh, Lisa, where is... Oh, you can see this as well, can't you? You can see me frantically looking to see if it says, and it doesn't. I think it's Argentinian. I think. Right, this... Spooky Astronauts actually reviewed this recently, and I really, really agree with everything that she said in her review. So check out Spooky Astronauts' review of this. If I remember... and I'm terrible at remembering, you guys know that, I will link it below. She's much more professional than I am. She's got much better, more intelligent points to make than I do. I just waffle. But yeah, this one has some kick-ass effects in it. Amazing effects. I really like spooky atmosphere. It kicks off with an amazing scene quite near the beginning, which just leaves you open-mouthed, agog. It's horrendous, it's hideous. And that actually is as horrendous and hideous as it gets. It doesn't get much more than that. It didn't excel past that point. I was thinking, Jesus, what am I in for if this is happening in the first few moments of a film? I keep looking down because I don't want the screen recorder to switch off like it always does. But yeah, I did really like this. I didn't love it. I was expecting when I read the synopsis, which, let me see. Police Commissary Foons and 3 researchers, is it any wonder the person who's written this hasn't written it proper? Researchers of supernatural phenomena investigate inexplicable events that are occurring in the suburbia of Buenos Aires. This follows several different people and really weird stuff that's happening. And if you ever as a child or still have that fear of something being under the bed and leaving your leg out and stuff. Jesus. Honestly. Oh, spooky, spooky. What's underneath this guy's bed is not pleasant, and some of the scenes in this are, if you're scared of that kind of inexplicable thing, then we've got a little bit of a Pet Cemetery vibe about this as well. It's really good. It's quite disjointed's the wrong word to use. It doesn't flow like an American or a British. You can tell it's a foreign movie. I personally, I like that. I like the different feel of it. I would really recommend this one. Terrified is the English title. Aterrados is the Argentinian title. It's well worth a watch. I really did enjoy that. Next off, you see I've given it 3.5 stars there. Next off, complete in contrast, is Ralph Breaks the Internet, which is Wreck-It Ralph 2. This is awesome, guys. I really liked Wreck-It Ralph, but I preferred the second one. They update the Disney the Disney princesses in this. I won't give you too much information, but you see them in a light you haven't before. I loved it. I loved... there's a bit of imagery in this which is a bit spooky for young kids that happens near the end of the movie. But I loved it. I loved the character. If you're a gamer, if you've played games at all, you'll get a lot from this, because there's so many references to so many different things, and social media and YouTube and Twitter and all sorts, because obviously the story is Wreck-It Ralph and Penelope go into the internet, and they're on a quest to find something, and it's just so funny. It's just a really, really good movie, and I really enjoyed it. All three of us really enjoyed it. My husband, like me, preferred it to the first one, so there you go. That's Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. On the same day, I finally watched The Nun. I'm in concurrence with everyone else that said it was a bit meh. The imagery in this is beautiful. The way this is shot, the cinematography is fantastic. The acting performances in this are all really stellar, are all really good. I cannot fault any acting performances. I cannot fault the cinematography. But the story itself just left me really meh. But the main thing that really... Now, the nun... What's her name? Valdak? Oh, it starts with a V and it's got a K sound in it. I can't remember what it is. Does it say it here? No, it doesn't. Of course it does. Oh, hang on. Valak, played by Bonnie Aarons. We've also got one of the girls from... Is that her name? Taissa Farmiga? I wish I hadn't looked now. I can't pronounce it. The girl out of... now I'm looking at a bloody priest. Yeah. Taissa Farmiga, I apologise, I can only apologise, who was in American Horror Story, quite a few of them. She's in it as the main nun, or whatever a nun is before she takes her final vows. She done a great job. And the effects, great. The makeup, great. And Valak in the Conjuring movies was, to me, the most scary thing. That painting itself, and when she sort of comes out, it's like, oh my god, that's terrifying. If they did a movie about this, it would be awesome. And they did a movie about this and it was not awesome. We don't get to see a lot of the nun in it, but when we do, and this makes no sense to me, she's growling. She's got these big teeth and she keeps going, and she keeps growling. Like, you know, like a vampire or a cat would. And I'm like, what? Why is she doing that? Why would the ghost of a nun do that? Why would an evil deity do that? I didn't like it. And she walked, she didn't hover. Surely if you've got a ghost apparition of a nun thing coming behind you, should it not hover? Should it not hover towards you, not walk? I don't know, it just didn't do it for me, so no. Bloodfest was the next one. I need to see Hellfest as well, but I really, really like this one. Bloodfest is about a group of horror fans that go to a big festival, Bloodfest, which is basically just an homage to horror and horror directors and movies, and someone has actually set up that there's going to be, what way can I put this? Basically he is going to kill everyone for real. So they've got every different type of killer you can imagine. There's clowns, there's slashers, there's Basically everything from horror lore that exists is there. He has managed to make real, and they're going around killing everyone that attends the festival, and you have to try to get out alive. And some pretty brutal effects in here, a lot of blood. It managed to be light-hearted, it managed to be fun, but not in a haha the whole way through it type fun. Fun as in, I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it had a perfect mix of seriousness, of gore, of sort of like a bit of light relief. The performances were all excellent, the characters were all really believable, and I would thoroughly recommend that, Bloodfest. Right, my screen recording stopped. Christ only knows when that happened, but Bloodfest. So the next one, come on Lisa. Oh, this is not going to appeal to anyone. Mike Kelly, I don't know, maybe not. Right, this, I was looking for something the other day to watch. I was feeling a bit naff. It was the day after my birthday. I was sore, and I wanted to watch something Christmassy. And I went through Netflix and I found this. Angela's Christmas. It's actually only half an hour long. This was so sweet. Right, let me explain to you. This is Irish. It's set in Ireland. I was brought up by Irish Catholic parents and grandparents. I lived in the house of my grandparents and parents. I was an only child, and I was very much exposed to Catholicism and, you know, chapel and nuns and priests and all that stuff. And I'm not criticising any of that for a second. I'm not getting into religion with anyone. But this is such a sweet story. It's very Irish, down to the colloquialisms used, and I was really surprised how Irish it was. And just, it depicts a very poor Irish family. It's coming up to Christmas. They live in a very poor area, very similar to what my grandparents lived in when they were younger. Just poor. And the kids didn't have much in the way of clothes. Everything was hand-me-down, and they went to chapel on, was it Christmas Eve? And anyway, they went to chapel, like you do if you're a good Catholic with your family. And the little girl sees baby Jesus in the crib, and she feels that he's cold. And she takes the little statue home to warm him, to give him a coat. And obviously then realises that she's stolen from the chapel, and it puts the priest across as being really cross and really stern and blah blah blah. And it's just this little story about the innocence of childhood, about Christmas, about the importance of giving to others and loving others, and it's quite sad in places. It's only half an hour long, but it's just so spot on about Catholicism in Ireland, and I just was really surprised that it concentrated so much on that. Obviously you've got the religious aspect, which will put a lot of people off, but to me, you don't have to be religious minded to watch something that is sweet, that has traditions that maybe you don't share. Maybe you do, whatever, you know, different strokes for different folks and all that. But I just thought it was such a sweet, beautiful little Christmas thing. I loved it. So it's Angela's Christmas. And the animation in it, it's beautiful to watch. Really, really, really beautiful. Next, on the same day, you can tell what mood I was in, was Deck the Halls. I've seen this one before, obviously Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito being warring neighbours as to who is Mr. Christmas and who can have the best Christmas lights and do it the best way. Matthew Broderick has lived in an area where Christmas is his thing and he's the best at it. Everyone comes to him about stuff about Christmas, and they come to look at his decorations, and Danny DeVito moves in and he does everything bigger and better than Matthew Broderick, and this sort of like that whole sparring back and forth thing. Isaac wasn't at all interested until Danny DeVito's wife came into it with rather large boobs and rather low cut tops. Isaac maintained an interest at that point. He's not even 8 yet. What? How does this start so soon, guys? But yeah. I've seen it before. I do like it. It's a funny watch. I do really like Danny DeVito. Yeah, so Deck the Halls. I'm sure you've all seen it. Next off was Kin. Right. In advance I will tell you I did not watch all of this. I was very tired. I switched it off, but I will admit I was bored senseless. The trailer for this made it look much better than my experience of it was. It says here, a young boy finds a powerful otherworldly weapon which he uses to save his older adoptive brother from a crew of thugs. Before long, the two of them are also pursued by federal agents and mysterious mercenaries aiming to reclaim their asset. So yeah, it is what it says. This little boy finds a gun that could only come from another world or from the future, and it's about what he does with it and people chasing him to get it, and it bored me. I thought, oh, this looks good. I wanted to watch something a bit different, and didn't appeal. If you've seen that and it is worth sitting down and concentrating on, let me know. I have a tendency to get sidetracked and to get distracted, and I was tired that night, so I did switch it off. And you can tell what sort of mood I was in that specific day because I also watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the live action version. Isaac wanted to see it, so we sat down and watched that one, which Darren thought was Mike Myers. I'm like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not Mike Myers. It's Jim Carrey. It's like he's acting like Jim Carrey does in every movie that Jim Carrey does. He's got that stupid... That ruins it a bit for me, I have to say. I want to see more Grinch and less Jim Carrey. But Darren was adamant that it was Mike Myers, and I'm like, the Cat in the Hat, that you're thinking of the Cat in the Hat. So yeah, I love this story. I prefer the new animation to this live action version, if I'm honest. Jim Carrey needs to rump it down a bit and bring forth more of the character and less of his persona and the silly face pulling. The dog's awesome. The Who's are awesome. I love the whole message of it. It's so sweet. But I prefer the new. If you haven't seen the 2018 Grinch animated version that Benedict Cumberbatch voices, watch that. It's awesome. It is so good. So I think is that all that I've watched this week? Yeah, I think it is. Stop screen recording, yes. That's it for you guys. I've been listening to the usual. I need to get the Muppets Christmas Carol back into the car. It's a shame and disgrace that it isn't in there in mid-December. I've got that soundtrack now, so I need to get that listened to. I've been listening to... Oh, I'll tell you the song I've been listening to. Do any of you that are a similar age to me remember a song called Tell It To My Heart by Taylor Dane? Do you remember Tell It To My Heart? That one. Juliette Lewis has only gone and covered it, and it's awesome. I love Juliette Lewis. Juliette Lewis, the actress Juliette Lewis, who I adore, I always have, is also in a band, has been in several bands. The band that I saw her tour with are called The Licks. She was in another, she was in another band that I don't remember the name of right now. But she is in a TV show called Camping, I think, which I haven't seen. I must seek it out. And in that with her is an awesome cast because they are all in this video she does. What's Dr. Neil Tennant is in it. I didn't recognise him. I'm like, that's not Neil Tennant. Darren says, yes it is. And it is. Anyway, she has, I don't know if she's covered it to release it, but I will link it below. It's awesome. She has done a video where her and the rest of the cast from the show that she's on are all lip syncing to this song. And it's just, I watch it over and over and over again. I listen to it in the car. I've always loved the Taylor Dane song, and now someone really cool has covered it, so I've been listening to that too much. I realise too much, but I don't care. I'm sure my husband is sick of the sound of it. But yeah, Taylor Dane, Tell It To My Heart. And obviously I'm still listening to Nicky Borg. Muppets needs to get in the car. That's the next thing. So yeah, I will leave it there for today. I've talked enough. Thank you to all of you guys supporting me through the Vlogmas thing. I know it's a lot of videos. I have lost some horror subscribers, but that's me. As Strange Monkey would say, it is what it is. This channel is me doing what I love, which is why I called it Lisa Loves. I love Christmas. There's more to my life than horror movies, and I make this channel for me and my enjoyment and people that are close friends with me and not the masses, so I'm perfectly happy with that. So yeah, as I said, thank you to all you guys who are supporting me with it. I'm really enjoying watching other people's Vlogmases. I shouldn't really be plugging Vlogmas on a weekly catch-up, but I'm going to anyway. I'm loving Rustin Wolpar's Vlogmas. I'm following her. I'm following her sister Kelly also, who's doing Vlogmas. I will link these channels below if I remember. I mean, if I don't remember, pull me on it below and I will tell you the links. So Shan from Rustin Wolpar's doing it. Shan's sister Kelly is doing it. She's just started off a YouTube channel, so it would be really cool to give her some subs, guys. My good buddies Chris and Tori are doing it, and as I've said many times, they are the reason I started a channel from watching their Vlogmas last year. So I will leave it now, and thanks for watching, guys. Over and out for this week from Lisa Loves.